authenticity and attention to detail. We've actually been working with a partner of ours, almost 4.5 years. We've been working to bring something new, something exciting to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's going to feel familiar, but very, very authentically Star Wars. And instead of me actually telling you about this,
do we have a video?
You said more pictures.
More pictures.
So I brought more pictures.
Show it to us.
So I want to show you this and see if you can figure out, I'm sure you will, what it is we're talking about. What is this new thing that we're bringing into the world of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge?
What was that? Look, there!
Wow. I'll have what she's having.
You know what? I know someone who could help make that happen. To talk about how we were able to bring this great thing into the world of Star Wars, I want to introduce somebody from the Coca-Cola Company, Brad Spicker and Matt Cooper, who've been working with us on this project to help bring Star Wars to life. Brad, Matt, hey, you brought things! Aren't these cool? I just think these are so cool. Yeah, I think they're awesome too. Why was Coca-Cola willing to come and play with us in the world of Star Wars, excited about coming into the world of Star Wars with us?
Yeah, well, as you know, Scott, Coke and Disney enjoy a tremendous partnership. And I think one of the reasons for that is we share a lot of attributes. One of the most important ones of those, I think, is the ability to inspire moments of happiness and magic in people's lives.
Sounds awesome.
And so when we found out about Galaxy's Edge, we knew we had to keep doing that in a way that was authentic to Batu. And we translate the Coca-Cola name into more than 100 languages. But now, being able to share them for the first time in Arabic with this crowd here at Celebration.
You guys are first. You're seeing us first.
Truly takes my breath away.
Well, it's not just the logo, it's the whole design of this thing. The design of this thing just looks cool, kind of thermal detonator-ish. It's kind of awesome. And Matt, I know you worked on this, helping to design this thing from the very beginning. So tell me, like, what's it like to bring Star Wars to life in this design?
Absolutely. So, guys, this would not have happened without the awesome team at Walt Disney Imagineering. Scott, Chris, and team, they really brought the vision to us and allowed us to take our Coke brands further than we've never taken them before. So basically, we saw that, you know, a lot of the things in Batu were reclaimed, restored, and it was these metals that were sort of scraped and tattered. So we wanted something that almost appeared like it was pulled off of the ship or left behind and was repurposed to something that you could consume some of your favorite drinks in. But all the while, we still wanted to add some visual cues that allowed you to quickly understand what it was that you were about to consume, but not so much that it took you out of this storyline and put you back into reality. So, I mean, you know, they turned out awesome, and the Arabesh Coke stylized logo on this t-shirt, what do you guys think?
Did everybody get a t-shirt? Yeah, I didn't get a t-shirt.
I wanted a t-shirt. I did not get a t-shirt.
Well, guess what, guys? Does everyone have their ticket that they grabbed when they walked in? On your way out, you're going to be able to get one of your own.
That's what it's about. And thank you guys for coming to play in the world of Star Wars with us. We couldn't have done this without you. This is great. Thanks for helping bring that authenticity and that immersion to life.
Thanks,
Let's give a big hand for Brad and Matt.
Really angry that I didn't get a ticket. That made me very thirsty. Chris, tell me about, speaking of thirst, we call this a transition. Tell me about the cantina.
Well, you know, every outpost on the edge of the galaxy has to have a cantina, right? You have to have a place for the long space trip. You land in your freighter and you get out. You need a place to go and have a refreshing beverage. So yeah, we have a cantina on this planet, and you know what? The drinks are going to be so amazing. They are cool. They're strange. They're out of this world. They're just. I mean, we had a lot of fun coming up with the beverages.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and Scott and I think we had our fair share of sometimes a little too many. But you know, that's the rough job of being an Imagineer. And so it's been great, and we're really excited because the food and beverage team within the parks and resorts really just knocked it out of this galaxy with their offerings. But I would say the drinks are great, but the star of the show is DJ Rex.
Oh yes, this is what I was going to ask you. Now, are we talking Rex from Star Tours Rex?
Yes, that's what we were talking about.
Yes, Rex, this was before you were born. Rex was pilot on Star Tours.
Yeah, he was.
I loved him. I loved Rex as a kid. So how did he get on to Batu?
So, I mean, despite just graduating high school, I'm a bit of a historian, so I've looked into Rex. No, I'm actually a huge Rex fan, and when I found out when the Imagineers were talking about bringing Rex back for the Cantina, my brain immediately started spinning. I'm like, I need to figure out the story that gets him from Star Tours to here. And I guess I kind of wrote a little bit of fan fiction.
A little bit. It was like 17 pages long.
It was really long.
That had to take place.
We call that a book, by the way.
Sorry, guys. But I guess the short story is basically Rex kind of flunked his way out of Star Tours, eventually through some misadventures found his way to the Rebellion. In the final battle of the Galactic Civil War, the Battle of Jakku, in a very epic TIE fighter chase, he ends up crash landing on Batu. There he is rescued by the local droid smith, Mubo, where he's repaired and made into a DJ for Oga's Cantina.
Okay, all right, so we know he's a DJ, which leads me into my next question. What kind of music can we expect? Are we thinking the stylings of Figure and Dan and the modal notes, or is it...
Well, I mean, everyone loves that classic cantina sound that we've heard, for 40 years. That comes from a cantina. And Figure and Dan, we wanted to kind of bring that to this cantina as well, but not that same song that we've heard, right? That we assume that Figure and Dan, they probably had other hits, right? And so we've got some other music that is in that same style that would be...
I want you to stop talking around my question and play something for this audience.
You guys want to hear that? Okay, this is another Star Wars Celebration first. You guys are the first to hear this. This is another song from Figure and Dan and the Modal Notes.
That's the B-side.
We brought something else.
Yes.
So it's not just that classic cantina sound that makes up the music of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We've actually expanded the repertoire greatly. We have got so much really, really, really fun stuff that we are going to be able to unveil to you when you get there. But as a quick little teaser, I want to play one of Rex's favorites. And this is from an all-droid band. And kind of like Rex, they don't always get it right the whole time. But it's one of Rex's favorites, it's one of my favorites. Let's listen to another track that you might hear in Oga's Cantina.
Wow, it's like it's very cool. It's like that's amazing. It's like an all-different version of Hamilton. That's awesome.
I guess they're not going to throw away their bots.
Oh, wow. All right, we need to speed this one up. I want to know, I'll say, you've been eerily silent, and that's mainly because I haven't asked you a question, so that's on me. But I want to know more about Millennium Falcon, please. I need to know more about Millennium Falcon. What can you tell us?
I would absolutely love to. So,
thank you so much. Awesome. All right, moving on.
This is pretty. So even before guests get to climb aboard that super iconic, amazing cockpit, the experience really begins right outside, where guests are going to get to see the Millennium Falcon parked in all her glory out in front of the local spaceport. Really, the scale of the ship itself is a whole experience in and unto itself.
Doug, does it hold up?
Yes. Oh, it's incredible. I mean, we built so many different versions for our films, and they're all at different scales.
That little one on the hand?
Oh, yeah. No, that's the most fun. Yes. So
My size.
that's great. So we've had a variety of full-size versions as well. And then you see here there's a 6-foot shooting miniature as well as a 2-inch shooting miniature, and then some digital versions as well. And they were all slightly different from each other because they were built for different purposes. The one you're going to see up at you is the definitive Falcon. It's the real deal, and it's breathtaking. I remember being there and just being amazed, just standing in front of it because it's so powerful.
Anyone else just cry a little bit, or is that just me? Okay.
And wait, Josh, it gets even better, obviously, when you finally get the chance to go inside. This is something that we knew we had to do as soon as we started developing Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We knew that we had to give guests that opportunity to step aboard the Millennium Falcon, but we knew that that wasn't enough, right? This idea that you would just get to ride inside the Millennium Falcon, but we actually wanted to give you the opportunity to control the Millennium Falcon. So guests are going to get to load into that iconic cockpit and take controls of the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy, and it's going to be unlike anything we've ever offered our guests before. As a pilot, you have the opportunity to either steer the ship left or right or up and down, and it's truly up to you to pilot the ship out of the way of those spires, for example. If you don't, you're going to smash into them, alarms are going to go off, sparks are going to fly, and it'll be up to the engineers in the back of the cockpit to work furiously to keep the ship in working order. We got TIE fighters coming at us left and right. It's up to the gunners in the middle to work those lasers and those blasters to truly defend the ship.
So it's not just the pilot, the gunners, the engineers, everybody's going to have an experience inside this cockpit. That's different.
Everybody has a very important role to play, and it's truly up to you and your flight crew to determine the fate of the ship. One of the amazing things about this experience is actually, even when it's over, the story continues. So as you make your way out of the cockpit at the end of your amazing smuggling adventure, even that iconic hallway that you make your way through, it's going to look different depending on how you fly. If you had a beautiful, clean run, that hallway is going to be in pristine condition. If you've banged into every possible thing there was to bang into and taken, a volley of laser blasts, lights are going to be broken, we're going to hear sparks flying, we're going to hear comm chatter about the incredible damage that you managed to cause to the ship. And it's important that you do what you can to bring the ship back in good working order. Hondo Ohnaka is a very, he's a phenomenal boss, but he doesn't take too kindly to those bringing his ship back in rough shape.
I absolutely love Hondo Ohnaka. What was it like to bring such an awesome character that hasn't been in the films yet into this world?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Go ahead. I had a chance to see Hondo up close, and his transformation and evolution from animated life to real life has been, it's uncanny. We went down and got all the details right, including getting Jim Cummings to do the voice work.
And this sculpt that you're seeing here, it's amazing. It was actually based off of a sketch that Dave Filoni had done a long time ago. He'd always sort of wondered what Hondo might look like when he's older. So working with Dave Filoni and the amazing team led by Neil Scanlon, we were able to bring Hondo from animated form into real life.
All right, I hope you guys have something to show us.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So what we'd love to roll for you now is actually a clip of the Hondo Ohnaka, the boss man himself of Ohnaka Transport Solutions.
Yes. Hello, my friends. I am Hondo Ohnaka, and this is Ohnaka Transport Solutions. Today, I am offering the opportunity of a lifetime. I need flight crews to transport this valuable merchandise across the galaxy. Pilots to navigate, engineers to operate the ship, and gunners to defend the shipments. And that is where you come in.
That's insane. That's crazy. That is Hondo. And I love that you guys brought in Jim Cummings today. Everybody here know who Jim Cummings is. He's like the most incredible voice talent ever. He does Winnie the Pooh, he does Tigger. My greatest fear in life is one day I'm going to get a phone call saying Olaf is now going to be played by Jim Cummings. But it's just insane. So I digress. Margaret, who else do we have in this
We've
world?
worked with so many incredible voiceover actors, and one of the ones that we definitely wanted to bring back for DJ Rex is Paul Rubens. So we were super excited to bring him back, and no one was more excited than Paul. He was really great to work with. He really was. And he brought in a lot of inspiration and new lines for us. And let's just say you will be thoroughly entertained in Olga's Cantina.
Anybody else?
Well, I think that's the kind of that attention to detail that I think you guys want from us, right? That level of authenticity and kind of going back to these, to the classics, if you will, and making sure we're doing this right. And I will tell you that we're putting so much love and kind of passion into making sure that we're kind of working in a way that we think you would want us to, that we are going back to some of these folks like Paul and like Jim Cummings. And one of my favorite examples of this is, anybody know this character? Yeah. I love this story because Nainam, when he was voiced in his original appearance, was voiced by a young man who was a student in the Bay Area at the time. Actually, was from Kenya and spoke a unique dialect and had a unique sounding voice. But then time passed, and this gentleman whose name is Kip Sang-Rodich went back to Africa, and we kind of lost track of him. But when we decided we were going to bring Nainam back for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, we actually went to Kenya, tracked him down to record the original voice actor for Nainam to play in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, because we think that's the kind of thing you would want us to do.
That's crazy. I love that you guys couldn't just call him on the phone and say, can you go to a recording studio? You all had to fly to Kenya. That's incredible.
Why didn't you guys take me on any of these trips?
Too young.
Is there...
I'm a passport.
Fair point.
I'm so sorry, man.
There's other great people we have in this too, right? Because not every character that we hear is a character that we can see. Sometimes those voices come to us from...
Maybe the Force?
Yeah.
Stop speaking in riddles. What are you saying to us?
I think we're saying that, the Force is a very mysterious thing, and sometimes maybe Jedis from the past could visit us and be part of our experience.
Specifically?
Maybe a small green Jedi.
Darth Maul? Yoda? Wait a second. Please tell me what I think I want to hear. Who is voicing Yoda for this attraction or this world?
I think the name you're wanting to hear me say is Frank Oz.
Oh! You guys are living the dream right now.
It's amazing. It's incredible to work with the talent that's been pulled together for Galaxy's Edge. So it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It really is, and thankfully, because I think we're approaching this hopefully in a way that you guys will appreciate, we're getting the participation of all these people who have been such a classic part of making Star Wars. Another personal favorite of mine, and it wouldn't be a great Star Wars experience without the music of Star Wars. And so we've got John Williams. John has composed some amazing new music for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And I gotta tell you, the music itself feels like it's a character, the way it brings these experiences to life throughout our land. And I'm so excited about his participation in this.
It's incredible that you guys also went to Kenya to get that footage.
Yes, we did.
Frank Oz, John Williams, how could this get any better?
Josh, as hopefully you can tell, everything that we've been doing in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has been about trying to exceed all of your amazingly high expectations and our amazingly high expectations. And one of the key to making this a truly amazing experience is actually all of you. I mean, for the last 40 years, we've all been playing Star Wars in our backyard with cardboard boxes and rolled up toilet paper tubes as lightsabers. And we really, really wanted Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to be this ultimate Star Wars playground, a place where, if you want to, rather than, reliving, Luke's story or Leia's story, as Chris mentioned, a place where you can truly live your own Star Wars adventure, right? So absolutely, there are folks who just want to come ride rides and enjoy the amazing food and merchandise, and that's totally okay.
Space meat.
Space meat. But for those who want to, right, we wanted there to be this opportunity for you to take on a persona, right, to become a member of the Resistance or the First Order or, a rogue scoundrel. So we've been working really, really hard on some amazing technology that will enable, this to really become a living land.
Can you be more specific? I'm listening.
I can be more specific, yeah. So one of the key ways that we're going to do this is through an app called the Play Disney Parks app. It's actually available for download now today. But coming soon will be your very own Star Wars data pad. So as guests come and visit us at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, your mobile device gets transformed into this amazing in-story tool. And it's really built around 4 key functions. And these are going to be the way that you can interact with and unlock a whole nother level of storytelling in Batuu and Black Spire Outpost. So first up is our hacking tool for all those slicers out there. This will give you the ability to interact with some of the droids that you see throughout the land, as well as some of the blinky light panels and maybe even some of the ships. We also have an amazing tool that gives you the ability to actually scan some of the propping that you see throughout the land. So we've got these cargo crates everywhere, for example, and you can use your scanning device to look inside those crates and find out what's inside. We also have a translation device. So much of the text and the languages that we'll hear and see in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is not in English, right? So this tool will allow us to understand what the airbrush sign actually says. And then lastly, we have a really great tuning tool. It allows you to tune into the various satellite dishes and antenna arrays all throughout the land and actually eavesdrop on some of the amazing stories that Margaret and Matt and the whole story team have been developing, giving this whole new layer of storytelling behind Black Spire's Outpost. One other really fun way that guests can all play together and really sort of show your allegiance for either one side of the epic Star Wars battle or the other is through a game we call Outpost Control. So when the First Order arrived on Batuu, they started installing these surveillance devices and all these blinky light panels that live next to all of the various doorways throughout the land. And obviously the Resistance doesn't love that, right? They don't love that idea. So as visitors to Black Spire Outpost, all of you will have the opportunity to decide who you want to help, right? Which side of this conflict you want to be on. And ultimately this game lasts up until one faction, either Resistance or the First Order, is successful in controlling most of those blips, and then the game begins again. It's just one of the really amazing ways that all of you will have an opportunity, if you want to transcend just being visitors to Black Spire Outpost, but to actually come, develop a persona and become inhabitants of this world. A world where the choices that you make and the ways that you interact will ultimately affect the way that the story unfolds around you.
I stopped listening when you first started talking. Can you go through all that one more time?
Yeah, sure. Can we go back to one? That'd be great.
Now, this is so incredibly cool because I think one thing that all of us have in common is we have always wanted to be a part of the story. And this is giving us the opportunity to do just that.
Yeah, there's so much more to come. I mean, we're just kind of touching the tip of the iceberg now. But you don't actually have to wait to visit Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to start being a part of the Star Wars story. Has anybody here actually been to the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge exhibit on the show floor here at Star Wars? Okay. Has anybody here taken a moment to step inside one of our video recording booths, our fan-fessionals, and record your Star Wars story? Well, I want to tell you, and if you haven't done it yet, you might want to go do that. We are going to take all those stories that you tell us about your relationship with Star Wars, about what Star Wars means to you, and we're going to collect those things, those stories, and we're going to put them in a holocron, very much like the one you see wheeling on stage. In fact, specifically like the one you see on stage. In fact, that one that you see on stage. We're going to collect all of your stories, we're going to put them in that holocron, and we're going to make them a part of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Because we can think of no better way to start the next 40 years of Star Wars storytelling than to base it on the love, the passion, the fandom that you all have, and make that the foundation of all the Star Wars stories we tell in the future. And we have so many ideas. We have so many ideas about what can happen at Black Spire Outpost, the stories that you guys are going to participate in, other things that we're going to tell through other, through publishing games and other films, media. We have a lot of plans for the kinds of stories that will be launched from this remote outpost on the edge of wild space.
This is all amazing. Full disclosure, I told a little fib at the start of this panel when I said I did not get a chance to tour Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. What I meant to say was I did get a chance to tour Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It is beyond your wildest dreams. It is the single most insane thing I've ever seen built in any park. And I'm not just saying this because they paid me to say it, although that's part of it. It really, the scale and scope of it, I don't think any of you guys are ready for it. And more than anything, I just wish that they could see some of what I saw, because it was incredible. Can they see some of what I saw?
You said bring more pictures.
Yes.
So we brought more pictures. Now I want to tell you, I cannot wait for all of you to kind of visit this location for yourself, to really be immersed in it with all of your senses, as Chris and Doug and everyone else here have talked about. But to give you a little bit of a sense of what Josh saw when he came to visit, we did bring a very recent collection of some footage we shot in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, as we are almost getting ready to launch it to the world. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of that footage. And with that, listen to some of that iconic John Williams music, a selection of his theme from Galaxy's Edge. I did stand in front of the Millennium Falcon and I started to cry. And I genuinely, there was a lot of pollen in the air that day, but it genuinely is, I think, you've given all of us a gift that I don't think anybody's fully prepared for. And I just want to thank you all. I cannot wait to go back, get on these rides, which I did not get to do, so don't come at me with pitchforks yet. But to experience this when it opens, and promise all of us that this is just the beginning. It absolutely is. You know, as I said, we have a lot of Star Wars stories to tell. There's an unlimited number of places we can go, characters we can meet, adventures that we can become a part of. We're so glad that we're able to make Black Spire Outpost the launching point for not only those stories, but for your story. And we're so grateful for the opportunity, the time you guys spent with us today. Because I want you to know, I'm kind of getting emotional. I have a warm hug. Thank you.
How about another kiss on the cheek?
Yeah. No. Oh. Okay, sweet. Thank you. So, you guys. Hopefully, you guys. I want you to know how much love and passion we're putting into this. Because we're Star Wars fans. We represent an amazing collection of other Imagineers and our folks that are at the parks. Actually, because they care so much about the fan base, the leadership of Disneyland and Walt Disney World are in this room with you right now because they want to spend time with you guys as fans. So here somewhere. That's how much we care. And you know, if we're doing this for you, we're really kind of trying to do this with a fan kind of sensibility. So we're so grateful you spent time with us today. We hope you like what we've put so much love and passion into. And when you get to come and see it, you know, we hope that it's like the culmination of 40 years of dreaming about stepping into that world of Star Wars.
Oh, get it together, Scott. Stop crying. Guys, thank you so much for making the time to come today. Thank you guys for having me back. Let's give everybody a hand, please. As we leave, we want to treat you guys to some more of John Williams' incredible music from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. This is the first time the entire concert suite has been heard publicly. Enjoy the rest of your celebration. Love you all.